Hello and welcome, I'm Bald and Bearded friends. Today we're gonna take a first impression, not a really one, but the Jaguar Classic Black. It's an oriental, woody kind of fragrance. I already tested one in a store we call the Bijenkorf in the Netherlands. But today, the very first impression, the unboxing of it. It's a 100 milliliters fragrance I bought for only €20. But I think we're gonna really like it because it's a aromatic, woody, oriental kind of fragrance by Jaguar, of course. They have really great, cheap fragrances. Personally, I really like the green one, the Jaguar for Men. It's a more freshy, more soapy kind of fragrance. This one is more oriental and spicy. First, check the box. It's a nice black. I hope you can see it. It's a bit shiny. The ingredients at the back, all kinds of information. Let's just open it with a knife. I also have way too much noise. I also have bought a new camera today, so I'm pretty broke at the moment, but I've bought the M50. But I couldn't film already because I really just bought it, and the accu is just, or the battery is just charging. But again, the box, let's see the bottle. It's the same kind of bottle as the red Jaguar. I actually don't know what it's called, but I'm owned also. I might do a Jaguar film, but this is a bottle. It's quite nice. It doesn't look too fancy and all, but what do you want? This €20 fragrance. Alright, I will spray some on the wrist, and then we're gonna talk about the notes and how I perceive them, even though I'm looking it up, of course. Atomizer is actually not that bad for such a cheap fragrance. Really projecting already freshness, some bitterness, and that's actually what attracted me at first in the store in the Bijenkorf, because you can already perceive it's an oriental kind of fragrance, some spices in it, but it's a bit sour, it's a bit bitter at first, and that's just real nice for such a cheap fragrance. Again, only €20 per 100 mils. And that's actually in one of the more expensive kind of stores in the Netherlands, the Bijenkorf. Okay, let's go over the top notes. It's stated Granny Smith apple, bitter orange and mandarin orange. It is a combination of the sourness and the sweetness, and some bit bitterness because of apparently the bitter orange. But it makes for real nice, how would I put it, less common kind of opening, especially for such a cheap fragrance. You expect the most generic opening ever. But I have to say I'm happily surprised that this one has a more complex but different kind of opening. What really attracted me to buy this fragrance are the mid notes. I hadn't had the time, of course, to smell the base notes in the store, but the mid notes are really interesting to me. I will read them out, and you will directly know why I thought it was such an interesting kind of fragrance. Middle notes are as follows: tea. Huh? I'm kidding here. Seawater. Geranium. I like my old school fragrances. Nutmeg and cardamom. So again, you have the freshness, the depth. Whoa, I kicked the camera. You have the freshness, the depth, because of the tea and the geranium. A bit saltiness, a bit extra depth because of the seawater. And then you have already in the mid notes, you have the spices by the nutmeg, sorry, and the cardamom. And you all know by now, I like my spices. And the base notes are as follows: white musk, Virginia cedar, tonka bean, vetiver, sandalwood, and oak moss. So the dry down is again a little bit old school. You know, you go from the geranium in the mid onto the oak moss in the base. So a little bit old school, but you know, I like my old school kind of fragrances. And that's tonka bean to, you know, sweeten it up a little bit. But also the white musk and the cedar and the vetiver, just to give it a little bit more depth, more woody, but also clean it up a little bit by the musk. So you have a really pleasant, bit spicy, but also a bit airy kind of fragrance because of the seawater, the white musk, and what was I saying? You know, the top notes, the apple and the orange. You have a bit airy, a bit lighter kind of fragrance, but also it has the geranium, nutmeg, cardamom, tonka bean, vetiver, oak moss. It has a bit of a full spectrum of fragrance notes. You know, the airy ones, the light ones, and also the more spices, more depth kind of fragrance notes. So that is very interesting to my nose. And here is the bottle, and also the, you know, the blackness. I really liked. I of course have the red one, and I will actually get it now. And I'm back. You know, I have also the red one, the classic red. You see the same bottle. Classic red is more sweet, more red smelling. The black one, the classic black, is more spicy. Also the sweetness because of the tonka bean, of course, and a bit spicy, a bit salty, a little bit, I guess, because of the seawater. And then you have in the same line by Jaguar the four men, the first one, the green one. Other kind of bottle, but it's real soapy, bit old school, but you know, that's why I like it. Okay, of course, this is about the classic black, so let's continue the classic black. Longevity, at least stated on the internet, you know, I haven't really fully worn it yet, but it's quite moderate. Well, that's I'm not really surprised because it's a real cheap fragrance, of course, but it has spices in it, so real cheap fragrances most of the time don't last very long, but spicy fragrances will, so quite moderate. Silage, again, same story, quite moderate. So I expect you know, I think 5 hours. Yeah, I think it will last around 5 hours. If you spray heavily, perhaps 7, but also if you spray on clothes, natuurlijk, of course it will last longer. but I don't know yet. I haven't fully worn it yet. It's a real masculine kind of fragrance. I don't think many females will enjoy this kind of fragrances. And of course it's dirt cheap. Because I've only, sprayed it first, and, I'm not very familiar with this fragrance yet. Just sniffed it now for 2 whole times. I think it's quite interesting to read out some of the reviews on Fragrantica. Well, the top one states it's my friend, so that's not very helpful, although apparently it's a friendly kind of fragrance. The other one says it's very aggressive, fresh fragrance. Initially it stings a bit in the nose, but then very pleasant, a very inexpensive fragrance that fulfills its purpose, can be worn at any occasion. I get it. And because of the tea and the seawater, of course, it's real fresh, but it has some more aggressive notes in it. The spices for, the non-spicy lovers. I guess it can be quite aggressive. And in the beginning it's real in your face, so I guess that also can be seen as aggressive. All occasion type of juice. No, I can see that if you like this kind of fragrances, of course. Way too long comment. A generic fresh fruity scent. It smells really good. Nothing new nor special. Yeah, it's not a game changer. It's not a real new kind of scent. It's quite nice, and especially for the price, 20 euros per 100 mils. I guess that will be, something like $25 or something for a bottle, so it doesn't break the bank. Here it states it lasts only 3 hours. I hope it will last a bit longer. I think those are the most interesting comments on the fragrance. I see a lot of reviews saying it lasts only a couple hours, 2, 3, 4 hours. Again, I have to test it, but I hope it lasts longer. But because of the cheapness, I guess you can, really overspray this one. And I assume that when you spray it, let's see, 10 times. Well, I wouldn't spray 10 times. Nothing. When you spray it, let's say 5, 6, 8 times, I guess it will last longer than 3 hours. Here someone says it lasts 7 hours. I don't know yet, but if you spray it many times, it probably will last quite a while. At least a work day. I hope you enjoyed this review. And I already said it, but I would recommend you watching the review of the Jaguar for Men. It's really one of my work scents. I work in healthcare as a nurse, and a real fresh, soapy kind of fragrance you can wear everywhere, anytime, always. I don't know more synonyms, but I would redirect you there. Thanks for watching. Ciao.